The new Vaporwave expansion for NEXUS5 speaks for itself. I believe that with this many sounds you can make whichever genre you want, although I took the suggestion personally with this one. In case you're new to NEXUS5, you get everything you need to start a song. Basses, leads, keys, pads, arpeggios, and sequenced kits, which I like to call idea starters. We're gonna touch upon how to use them as I break down this track for you. Okay, so those started with this classic 16th note bass. The idea was quite simple, but I quickly realized that it might be a little bit too boring, and that's where arpeggio mode in NEXUS5 comes in clutch. So once you activate it here in ARP section, you get a classic bass line. But there are a lot of cool presets to choose from, and in fact some even dedicated to making bass lines. Obviously, that's just a starting point, since once you land on something cool, you can then edit the notes however you like, delete, remove them, change the speed and even the length of this whole arpeggiator. But what's even better is that once you land on something really cool, you can then just go here and export MIDI, then drag it inside your DAW, change it, and voila! That's how I basically came up with this bass line here. Bass can set the vibe quite easily, but it is always better to add a bit of melodic ambience before writing main riffs. And that's exactly what I did here with this group of two pads playing the root note and a fifth evolve, which, by the way, is simple yet totally underrated method to quickly create an ambience which you can run through your whole song without even people noticing. So the first sound was actually this one, and it's a simple, silky and beautiful pad. Then for the second one, I wanted to have something with a bit more character, so that's why I used another pad, but then added the arpeggiator once again. Then a little bit of post-processing like stock echo and reverb to wash it out even more, and a bit of auto pan tremolo effect, which then I can increase or decrease depending on the arrangement. Now here comes the main actual melody, and surprisingly this time I haven't used the ARP feature. I made one myself. Obviously the sound alone is already pretty cool, but what brings it even more to life is adding a bit of automation, which this is exactly what I did here with those pre-assigned macros here. So I have one for the filter envelope, vibrato, but let's say you want to make your own, like adding a reverb throw at the end of the section. It's already quite there, but let's make it even more present. So all you really got to do is to find the free macro, and in my case that's a macro 4, and then assign it simply to the reverb mix, like that. And if you want to dive a little bit more into all of those modulations you set, there's obviously a mode matrix right here, which you can adjust basically everything and assign it to even more parameters. I think we can agree that the sound with all the automations sounds really cool. But the truth is that you don't want to use the same thing over and over. That's where I came up with a little twist with this bell preset. Sounds really nice. And in fact, the same melody, but made it into halftime. Just so people won't say that it sounds too clean for Vaporwave, Synthwave or anything you do with all of those sounds, you can use this Age macro, which is spread across whole expansion. A little bit of wobble and we are basically done with making it a little bit older. And that's where I realized that something is missing here. I mean, it sounds cool, but I really want to keep the tempo of the first part. I even added some chords a bit later. But still there is something off, and that's where this little guy came to the party. I mean, yeah, technically it's a whole new song, but that's the beauty of those sequence presets. So basically you have a ready song going on, and the first half of your keyboard are those sequence sounds, and with the second half you can play a melody with this lead. The cool part about this is that you can mute every single sound you don't want, so obviously I don't want those drums, percussions, piano, bass, since I already have one, and that left me with this little thing here. Which adds a lot to this whole arrangement, and in fact, once we go even further, it acts like a glue for this bridge. But you may notice this little dark sound here, which is not the part of expansion, but at the same time, it actually is. So I basically took the part of the original melody, those arps right here, and then dragged it into the Nexus grain engine. And that left me with this little sound right here. Yeah, you can change the speed and position on however you like. But what really added a lot of character to the sound are obviously the effects. So there is this reverb, a little bit of multiband compression, and the vowel filter, which is actually modulated by the LFO. And obviously I can't forget about this nasty bass lines for the bridge. Now, as you may heard, all the sounds are pretty much ready to go. I haven't used a ton of post-processing other than for making them sit together in the mix. There are loads of ways to adjust everything to your liking or even create new sounds without leaving the plugin with this many effects and engines to choose. To be fair with you, limiting yourself to a single expansion might look easy, but it actually forces you to be more creative.